Hey guys, welcome. I'm just gonna give it a few more minutes, so I can let people in, where we're just getting off of work, and slowly and steady we'll get more people jumping in a second. Happy Friday, first Friday already of the first year, of the new year, and I am a little bit sick as well too, so I'll probably be coughing and sneezing and just have a runny nose as well too. And so I do apologize, as it looks like a lot of people are getting sick right now too. But it's just part of the season, I guess. Um, is the wheel. Cool. Oh, is somebody there? Oh, that's weird. All right, so I'm gonna be sharing my screen with you guys. So that way, just a second, can get started. Welcome. All right, so that I'm just gonna use that. I'm gonna try and go through the whole presentation.
You can see us on my face.
Are you guys able to see my screen by any chance? Just double checking. Comment yes. Anybody? Yes.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Awesome. Welcome. All right. Anybody new here to real estate wholesaling or just real estate overall by any chance? Any new hands?
I'm a little bit new to real estate.
Okay. What's your name?
Yeah, I'm also new.
I think that was Bill and John. Okay. Welcome, guys. All right. So, the recordings, I do record these and then post them on the comments. If you want to go back to it and just listen up to it again, as everybody learns very differently, more visuals, handwriting, or anything going on. Post it on the meetup comments. So if you want to go back to it again, by all means, go through that. Additionally, too, I do post them on my website, just eltonvargas.com, and there's the real estate education. There's all the previous ones as well too, and anything else, anything related about real estate wholesaling. Overall, it's just going to be through there. Some files like assignment agreements, some resources that I found that are very helpful to everybody. Addendums if you have a purchase property on the contract and you need to make some changes. Some fix and flip analysis, cold calling, a roadmap. That was more if you're reaching out to like sellers. I think I do have it open here. It looks like this a little bit. It just goes through the roadmap, some questions you should be asking to like sellers or even to like agents as well too. Some objections that you're gonna come across as well too. Somebody has some privileges in writing over here as well too. Let me see what's going on with this. What is going on? No. Please don't do any drawings, guys.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. I'll stop.
What the fuck? Why was I joining?
So we'll just get started. The first thing first, my name is Elton, like Elton John. I just without the John, and I don't do any singing, and especially right now too, I don't do any singing when I'm sick. But I've been wholesaling for about 8 months. Right now I'm transitioning more into becoming an investor myself. I'm just looking for a lot of rental properties, not in the state of California that I'm at. more specifically Long Beach. That's where I'm located, but I'm just more looking into like other states as well too, and just start building my own portfolio. I learned a lot from the last 8 months in terms of real estate. Again, Bill, no more drawings, please.
My bad. It was an accident.
Um,
Bro, get the fuck out of here.
Hey,
yeah.
that hurt my feelings.
Uh, uh, just please don't.
Yeah. Okay, I'll stop.
This is a professional.
I'm sorry, I'm
Can we
sorry.
thing I'm
stop,
trying to do.
please?
It's necessary. Otherwise, I am gonna kick you out as well too. So
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. But
um
I think Esmeralda, she said something really mean to me.
Come on.
Okay, I'll stop. I'm just saying.
yeah, I'm not one more thing, and yeah, I'm gonna kick you out, dude. So
All right, I'm sorry.
um moving on forward. So basically, I created this group just so I can help teach as many people who are getting into like real estate and then try to understand the business of real estate wholesaling overall. I mainly go in the terms of analysis paralysis. What that means is whenever you're doing like looking at a property, you do have to run the numbers because real estate is all about numbers. When you try and get it under contract, what your wholesale fee is going to be about, regarding in terms of what your buyer is going to end up buying it for as well too. So it's going to be quite a few things that we're going to go over just now. So first things first is going to be the let me see here. Uh, it's going to be the steps of wholesaling. So there's all these steps when it comes to like wholesaling. It's not just about getting a property under contract and from there get it out of there. You are going to be going through some marketing, skip tracing, calling. There's going to be a bunch of things that you get steps that you have to go through it. My main one that I'm going to be that I always do these meetings for every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, except for today. I do have to do a little bit earlier at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Is basically go through a maximum allowable offers and an estimated repairs. I don't go through like negotiating. That's something else that you can start learning, negotiating from like sales, and then how to bring like offers in. So that's going to be like my main step that I'm going to be teaching for. So first things first, we're going to go over repairs. So a lot of buyers do things very, very differently. Cash buyers, either hard money loan lenders, institutional buyers, they all do the numbers very, very, very differently. So whoever it is that you have as an end buyer, again, everything's going to come across very different. I have one who does like repairs first, one does like their investing rule, then their repairs and the wholesale fee. Somebody does things very differently. It's all about understanding what your end buyer really wants and what it is that you're looking for. It's the ideal thing that you got to understand and bring to the table over to them whenever they're looking for like a property. Next is going to be repairs. So when it comes to looking at repairs, you don't have to overestimate it. You don't have to like underestimate it because your end buyer can either spend $100 per square foot on a property and then they want to make it a luxury, or they want to be very cheap and do the minimal as much as possible, just so that way they can get the most out of the buck. So it really depends, but there are certain things that you want to stick with when it comes to repairs. Like light repairs is going to be just carpet and paint. That takes between $10 to $20 per square foot. All right. I'm gonna kick you out, man. I'm sorry.
Quick question, because
Yes.
I am new here. Is it okay to like screenshot some of the stuff, or do you refer just to go back to it? You said it's going to be up and available, right, to view it?
Yeah, it's going to be
Information sharing.
available on the comment section to go back to it.
Okay,
Once
cool.
once we finish with everything, that's why I want to do the recordings. And again, it's going to be available on my website as well too. Going on from there.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And so with the repairs, again, it's gonna be very different when it comes to this. Justin, thank you, man. I really appreciate this. Man. So now I know who to block off from this. So moving on forward, is the repairs are gonna be very different when it comes to it. Again, but there are certain parameters that you have to stick with in terms of it. So it looks like I have a bunch of kids over here. Apologies, guys. This is the first time that I have this unprofessional. In Northern California, this is basically broad all over the US. Again, California, you're going to come across some contractors that are going to be more expensive. They're just going to charge you more like on the labor. But when it comes to like materials, it usually going to be between these ranges of 10 to 20 for light repairs, average repairs, 25 to 40, and like a full gutted job is going to be between 45 to like $60 per square foot. Okay. Next is another thing that you got to look for in terms of wholesaling is finding comparables. So when you want to find a comparable, there are certain parameters that you want to stick with on that range for those parameters. Whenever you're finding like a subject property, which I will go through as well too, is those parameters are going to be for the living square footage. It has to be plus or minus 300 square foot for that comparable to be similar. Lot size doesn't really matter, but sometimes it does come into play if you're looking more into like land as well too, or if you're looking at in the farm area, you're going to be more involved on the lot size from there. Radius wise, whenever you're looking at a comparable, you do want to stick within a half mile to a 1 mile radius for those comps. Another thing is do not cross double yellow lines. So usually double yellow lines are high busy highways or roads. These parameters are based on what an appraiser will look for. They're not going to cross those double yellow lines to find a comparable that is on the other side of a busy road, because again, it's just not part of that neighborhood. It's just they want to stick within those neighborhoods whenever they're looking for comparables. So another thing they're going to be looking for is plus or minus on the age of a property. Not when you look at comparables, if you're looking at a 1955 comparable to a 2005 property, then that's not going to really work as a comp. You want to stick within the same age, or again, plus or minus 10 years of age difference for looking at those comparables. And whenever you are looking at comparables, you want to look between 3 to 5 comparables that are either ugly as well too, so that we can find what the lowest property is going for to like a fully updated, because again, ARV is part of the fully updated going from there. So to move on forward from those parameters and everything, some of the things that I'll be doing is going over when we're analyzing like a property is I'm gonna be just going through a random city, go through finding like a deal from here, and then from there show you guys how is it going to be what some of the things that I like to do when I'm looking at those comparables, and how do I analyze the property, and then also how to I use my my calculator, the ARV calculator, so that way I can determine if it's going to be like a good deal, if it makes sense for me to bring like an offer in, or what's going to end up happening from here moving on forward. So the city that we end up selecting, or over here, we're looking at Missoula, Montana. I know Montana a little bit. There's not too many active buyers on that area, but that's what the wheel spins. So let's check it out and see what it is that we're able to find. So some parameters that I do want to look for when I'm looking at some of these properties as well too. I do filter it down just because I know what a lot of buyers are interested in. And when I'm facing through these filters, it's going to be pretty simple. Most of the buyers are looking for like single family, unless you have like long-term investors that are going to be looking for long-term, then they're going to be looking for like either multifamily or some single families to like rent out, depending on how the market is on that area. Time on Redfin, I like to use Redfin just because it's filtered down a lot easier. Sometimes I like to go through Zillow as well too, but I'm gonna do the same filters on Zillow as well. I'm looking for properties I've been sitting for more than 45 days. For square footage, I am looking for anything that is 1,000 square feet and higher. And then the max year time frame that I'm looking for built is 2005, just because 2005 and newer properties are going to be more updated and or have better structures set up. And so we're looking for anything old that it's that is good to like do a fix and flip as well too. So far I pulled out 46 homes. The only thing I did forget to look for is for these homes, I actually want to look at the county. I don't know what county these properties are at, but what I like to do is just head over to the schools tab, and sometimes it tells me over here, Missoula County. So I have to go back and redo everything again just because I need to type in the county over here for Montana, so that way I can get a bigger spectrum. And so as you can see over here in the city of Missoula, we do have some properties that are way out, like in the farm area, or however Montana is over here. So these type of properties are the ones that you do have to get involved with the lot size, but I'm gonna stick more to like in the suburban area where there's a lot more people and a lot more population happening, just so I can get more deals from this area specifically over here. So then from here, still the same 46 properties. Looking for the lowest price home. It looks like the lowest one is nothing less than $450,000. And I'm going to be looking for anything that looks like a little bit outdated, something that might need work over here whatsoever. It could be light like this one, something very light that needs like updated in the kitchens, do like some painting as well too. That could be a good deal so far that I see fit. Let's see. Nothing too much here. Let's pop up. Let's go with this one. So $500,000 for a home over here in Missoula, Montana. I want to see, biggest thing I did notice about it is how long it's been sitting on the market. So when it's sitting on for like this long, it's going to be for two reasons. It's either going to be that the seller is not budging down from that asking price whatsoever, so they're strictly firm, and or it's just like that's what the market is providing, which we can see a lot of the homes are in the area are around that price at $500,000 in terms of that. But the thing is, we got to look for ARV, or again, the after repair value. Some of the properties I'm going to be looking for are going to be on market. If you were to look for like off market properties, and then you're trying to get like the asking price or what the price is worth of the property, there's so many different ways that you can get that. You can get it by doing like a tax assessment, get what the tax is for the property divided by 1%, and that's going to give you like a value. You can ask the seller if you're reaching out to like the seller, because again, that's step number 2 to wholesaling, is reaching out, skip tracing and reaching out to like the owner and asking them directly about how much do they think their property is worth, so that way you can get a number, because we're going to go through a few steps over here in the calculator where we're going to be filling in some things like the property information, go through repairs, ARV that we're able to find, and understand where an investor or investors will be buying, so that way we can bring in our wholesale fee and get the property under contract, and just go from there and start bringing in those offers to like the seller. If you guys do have any questions, write down, or just we'll leave questions to the end. So that way I can answer all questions at the same time. It'll be a lot easier just in case. So from here, asking price is $499,900. We are looking at a 1472 square foot home. So I'm gonna put in that. There is no basement over here in Montana, I believe, if I recall right, but I do always have to double check just in case there is a basement, or if it's like a crawl space or something. No basement whatsoever. So usually we'll tell you right here in the interior or exterior as well too. But it's a crawl space for the basement. So I need to take off the basement and put in 1472 for the square footage. Automatically, our goal is to wholesale a property. So I'm gonna select for the investing rule or the buying rule wholesale. Automatically, I do get a possible purchase price or a possible offer to bring over. The to bring over to like the agent, because this is a property that is listed with an agent, and especially sitting for this long, that's it. I can bring a lowball offer, especially being a cash offer as well too, just because it's been sitting for like too long, or to understand what the seller's motivation is from there. Something I like to pay attention to as well is seeing if the property got under contract already in the past. So sometimes it will say pending or relisted or something like that. So far for this property, they've just been dropping the price by 10,000, 5,000, 10,000, just because again, they're probably not getting any activity, or they're just not there's just a lot of activity going on whatsoever, and there's no prior real buyers happening with this whatsoever. But I do want to understand from the agent's perspective what is it that is going on and how much leverage can I bring, especially being a cash offer, and close quickly. Because whenever I'm bringing an offer, I do have some contingencies. Some of those contingencies are going to be like this. We do want to close between 21 to like 30 days from after the day of signing. Pay the closing
How to
fee.
fuck your teacher. Guys, the number one quality you need to fuck your teacher is being the quiet type. If you're the class clown or you popular, you probably...
I don't know what that's about, but so you're gonna be paying the closing fees. You can use that as a leverage as well too. To bring that over, you don't have to mention to pay the closing fees. Again, the closing fees are going to be paid by the end buyer, but that's going to be basically what's going to be happening over here that you can use as leverage. Usually 1% of earnest money deposit is what you could be bringing over as well too. If it's a property that is less than $100,000, it's usually going to be either $500 or more, but it's usually 1%, 500 to 1% of the asking price of the property. You do want to do an inspection period for the property as well too. The inspection period basically gives you that time to get your end buyer, so that way you can get the assignment set up and bring it over to your end buyer. Make sure that they're able to look at the property as well too. Or if you have any pictures or anything that you send over to them, they still want to get the property, see what's actually happening inside the property, and then check it out themselves or send somebody to check it out. But that inspection period, the earnest money deposit, you want to bring your EMD after the closing, after the business day inspection period, which is something you're going to let the agent or the seller know that we're only going to be inspecting the property Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. through 5 p.m. Because again, those are the days that our workers or our contractors do a lot of their work from. Anything beyond that, then no whatsoever. But that's also some things that I want to look for. Just like, again, I'm trying to bring a cash offer to this agent and to the seller to make sure that it works well. But so far, putting in the numbers, I do have a lowball offer and it's perfectly fine. If I were to look back at this property, it does need minor updates. But again, I do have to check on the comps to see if there's any properties that have been fully updated that look like this and got fully updated to look a little bit better. Get rid of those boob lights, maybe keep those skylights going on as well too. Update like the counter, kitchen, take off the carpet, put all LVP on the floors, update the color scheme of the property outside. Also check for HOAs because I do see the houses being very close to each other. So these are some things that maybe I do have to like pay attention to and let my buyer know that it is a HOA. So a lot of the updates and improvements do have to get approved by the HOA, just because again, that's part of HOA regulations in some places. So there's a few things that I'll be going through, but so far for this property, I do see it as very light work, nothing too crazy. Just because I can imagine the neighborhood could be a good rental, just because of how the homes are looking right over here in the back. Check out the school systems as well too. See what's going on like in the neighborhood, and again check out for elementary school. That's good. So again, this could be a good rental for somebody, and it's very local to a lot of stores, Costco. So very good neighborhood overall for like this area. So for me, it will be somebody that I'll be looking for to like bring this over to be a long-term investor for this property. So I'm gonna estimate my repairs to be very light, just maybe $30,000 on repairs. There's no basement, so I don't have to worry about that. Now off the bat, we do have 2 ARVs. I also do have to consider my investor's profit. That's going to be a standard 20%. If they're doing a buy and hold, they are going to be coming down to like 10%. You don't have to worry too much about that just because they're going to be buying and holding. But anyone if your end buyer happens to be just a strictly fix and flipper, and that's what they make their income out of, just fixing and flipping properties, then it's going to be a standard 20%. Over here, we do have 2 ARVs. These 2 ARVs are, I'll go through them really quick. The first one is going to be the asking price. This is basically if it was listed like on market or if we find like the property's value, if we were to do the $30,000 and there's a fix and flipper, then this is how much the property will need to sell for our end buyer being a fix and flipper to buy the property at the asking price. I mean, at the asking price, and then sell the property at this much. So that way they are able to make their 20%. Because again, we do have to also add our wholesale fee into it. Now, if we were to bring our possible buy price, then I do have my possible buy price that our end buyer will need to sell it for, because they have to buy it at 325. I add my 10, 15, $20,000 wholesale fee, plus the repairs, and they want to make their 20%, then again, that's how much they need to sell it for them to make like their money. Again, a lot of buyers, they do things very differently. So it's all about, if your buyer just wants to make $50,000 on every single deal, then if you look at the numbers, then that's going to pop up from here, but we'll get that through that later. But these two ARVs is what I got to look for in my comparables. So now my next step is putting in numbers, putting in information, seeing what ARVs I got to look for. I got to see which side is the ARV going to get closest to. Is it going to get closest to my ARV, or what the seller or the agent is listing it for, that I'm going to get closer to. So now I'm going to go back to the neighborhood all over again, and then check out the again, the property in the area, so I can find these comps and see what it is that I'm able to find looking for these comparables. For the time frame, it is going to be 6 months to a year on the comparables. Let me just reset this. The 6 to 9 months is going to be for like the closest, just because the last whole year and the last few months have been really crazy in the market, where prices are changing, and they are going to be changing for the new year as well too. But now basically I want to look for a similar property close to my subject property, which is going to be, again, plus or minus 300 from the square foot. I'm looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom property, and also additionally too, I'm looking for a property that is built in 2003. So I'm gonna set up those filters, looking for a home, 6 months, 1,100 on the square footage, and up to 1,700 on the highest that I'm looking for my comps. So far, there are a few of them selling for 520. Let me look for some recently sold ones. Check out where they're at. We have this 515. It is a 2-level home, built 2019. So that's a little bit off as well too. And then year built max, hopefully lets me do 20. Looks like 2014 is the highest one. So let's see, for this property, looks like the last sold property on this area was in September, so quite a bit of time. August and September, it looks like it was like the best months over here. I'm not sure if that's something for that specific market in Montana, but let's see what kind of work or what kind of condition the properties are. Not too fully updated, but they're in the low of $500,000. Highest one is this one, 565, in the same neighborhood. Just want to see if it got fully updated. It looks like it's the same thing as well too. So what I'm gonna do is, just because a lot of them are selling in the same price range, or in the same neighborhood as well too, within the same time frame, I'm gonna collect the first 3 comps in terms of like the square footage. So I'm gonna get 328, 337. And this one I'm gonna put my comps per square foot, 338, 327. And then the other one, or 328, 337, 375. And this is basically going to tell me what my property can sell for, and that's going to be basically my ARV. So ARV, I'm gonna put over here 515, and then again, my investor is going to be a fix and flipper. And so off the bat, it's telling me how much they're willing to buy the property for themselves, based on the repairs they want to do, and then based how long it's going to take for them to like get the property, get it updated, rent it out, or whatever it is that they want to do, or just fix and flip it. Or if I'm looking for, if I have a buy and hold investor or buyer, then the numbers are going to be changing from there, from a conservative to an aggressive. For me, I like to go more on the aggressive side just because, again, slowly and steady, you do notice how your buyers do come across. And a lot of them that I've come across on my side have been very aggressive. Very few are very conservative in terms of it. But for a fix and flipper, this is how much they will buy your contract for, or how much they will buy the property for, like at the most, just because of what the neighborhood is telling them. Now, if we compare this to what we're supposed to get it under contract for at 324, basically our offer is rather reasonable. We're bringing that offer into like the agent. We just have to explain to them and let them know, like, based on what we found, the comparables that we found, the average property in our neighborhood is selling around $515,000. Again, we are going to be doing about $30,000 in repairs, but again, our offer of the 324 900 is going to be a cash offer that we want to bring, just because, again, our buyers are basically buying it between 331 and 339. But again, if you're looking for a buyer who's going to be buying and holding, then of course that's when things are going to be changing up like a little bit. They pay the closing costs. Over here, it shows you how much they're making like in their profit as well too. Sometimes we do have to cut our wholesale fee into this as well too. So again, it all depends on if your end buyer has a specific dollar amount that they want to make, or a specific profit percentage they want to make, and or a specific margin that they want to make as well too. So it's all about communicating with your end buyer what it is that they're looking for and what they want. But basically this shows you everything in terms of like the numbers, because again, the analysis paralysis part of wholesaling is literally going through all these numbers, but the calculator is going to set it up for you so that way you can understand where your end buyer is, what the agent or what the seller is telling you for, and what is actually happening. But all you have to do is do your homework, find what the comparables are actually selling for, and it will tell you what the ARV is, and then put in the ARV that the average ARV, or what the number pops up over here from the 3 or 5 comparables that you find, and then put it into it, and then it gives you the results on what an end buyer will buy it for. And that's pretty much it. Any questions so far? If you want to keep the property, the 70% formula changes. I don't know what that means, Mario. The ARV calculator, you can get the ARV calculator at eltonvargas.com, and then from there just head over to the calculator side. There's going to be a coupon code so that for all these events that I'm hosting, it's not gatekeeping for the calculator. Use that coupon code, and it's going to be completely for free to use both the ARV calculator and the rental calculator from the S. Oh, you got, okay, beautiful. Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys have any questions, or if you have any properties of your own that you want me to analyze and help you out with. That is like the time that I like to leave it open for all of it. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Now is the time.
Hi, yes, I have a question.
Yes.
For the EMD, you mentioned, sorry, it was a little quick. So, because I'm an agent, so how would that work with wholesaling? The EMD doesn't have to be deposited. Yeah, when does the EMD have to be deposited?
So EMD, if you're an agent yourself, you said,
Correct, yes.
and then you're trying to wholesale a deal on your side.
Well, I'm trying to learn.
Okay. So usually when a lot of wholesalers come in, especially you being like an agent, when they reach over to you, just so that way for them to do like their marketing and for them to do find like the end buyer, or sometimes it's just actually checking out like the property themselves, because again, anybody can inspect like the home. If that's definitely allowable. Is the EMD, it's usually recommended to get it deposited after the inspection period, or you can do usually, to be honest, is I've seen it between 7 to like 10 days. Just do it way in advance, then inspect it, so that way they and they bring the EMD to the closing and title, directly deposited to them, and they work it out from there.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But yeah, it's usually once you've done like your full inspection, taking like your pictures,
Yeah.
and then everything from there, have everything set up so that way everything for everybody's sake flows very smoothly. Then that's when the EMD gets released to the title and everything moves on forward from there.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. And actually, you know what? I do have a house that I would want you to analyze. Is that something you could do?
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay,
Again,
cool.
whenever I do this, I don't want to take I mean, if you already have like a property on you, I just don't want anybody else to
Yes.
take like the property whatsoever. Again, I'm just doing this for education for everybody. Nobody should be stealing from anybody else whatsoever, unless
Okay.
I find like a property that I leave it open to everybody. If this is a good deal, I call it off from the bat already. Then by all means, tell everybody, whoever wants to take advantage of this, reach out to the agent, find the buyer, because I already did all the homework on the live event for everybody. So if wants to claim it, I just call it out from there. But when people bring me over deals, I just always like to tell everybody, again, we're just doing this so
Okay.
everybody can learn. So yes, I'll definitely love to help you out on this property.
Okay.
What's going to be the address for the property?
Oh yeah, here. It's here, let me type it in for you actually.
Okay, thank you.
988. Thank you.
Are you an agent in what state?
I'm in California.
Oh, California. Oh, nice.
Yes. Westminster. Okay, I sent it. I sent it over.
All right, so
Thank you.
let's see. So usually for California, are you looking for this one? Okay, so it's a pending sale. Oh, so you already got an end buyer. I mean, an end buyer. This one on the contract, or
Oh.
what's going on with this property?
Yes.
Oh yes, I'm assuming.
Okay, beautiful. So let's see.
100 for 90.
So you want me to find comps for this one?
Yeah.
Or you want to analyze what the
What the
offer,
what the ARV would be.
what the ARV? Okay, so this won't be so if the asking price is 945 already. I just want to see here, put in the info, 1537, Westminster. What county is this? Orange County?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
It is, yeah. Wait, Orange County? Oh.
1537, yeah, square foot. I just want to see the numbers. If somebody was to like wholesale this one, what do we get it under contract for? The updates here in California, again, it really depends on to like the end buyer, what they want to do. Kitchen, flooring, paint, lighting, not too bad. Get rid of that popcorn ceiling, update lights. Okay. Out of bad home, bathroom, not too bad. Bedrooms. Okay, cool. So this will probably be a good $35 a square foot for like the updates. I'm gonna go a little bit higher, just play it safe. $40, so about $60,000, yeah, in it. And then for an investor, again, it depends if they want to do a fix and flip or a buy and hold. This one to me looks like a fix and flip. And then I know a lot of homes are actually selling for this much. So
Yeah.
based on the asking price that you that it's under, it will need to sell for 1.3 for it, or need to find something. If it's nothing selling around 1.3, then I gotta find something for 884. And I'm here in California. I've done some deals in Orange County. I know for sure it can get close to like 1.3.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we do have to do our due diligence for the property. So let's go here. Orange County. And then Westminster.
What is, yeah.
Oh, let me I did this wrong. Should have duplicated this so I can understand where the property is. And then how long has the property been on the market for?
Okay, 1 second.
39 days. Not bad. Not bad.
Oh, 39 days, yeah.
All right, cool. So Midway 405. Oh, there's is this where I go to meetings for? I go to like a meeting, one of the meetups somewhere over here. I don't know if this is
Oh,
the
that's
right.
funny.
Yeah, somewhere one of these. I'm gonna say one of these 5 quadrants. I've done a meetup over here.
Oh, okay.
So I know this area. Cool.
Nice.
Now let me go back here so I can find these comps. So 17, 1537. So plus minus 300. What's the year? 1959. All right. 1970. 1800 square foot home. 1200. So it looks like a lot of the properties in the last 6 months over here. Is it closer to Madison? Or Magnolia Street? Yeah, it's right over here. So off the bat, Magnolia and McFadden. Yep, right in this corner. So off the bat, there are 2 comps
Uh-huh.
at 880 and 675. And they are in the low square footage.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to find something close to like this one. I'm not sure if this is a HOA, a neighborhood over here for this specific home, 925. So not a lot of them are. I know McFadden, it is a busy street. I like to go check on it really quick just to confirm and get my recollection right. So yeah, double yellow line. So this is something that an appraiser will stay away from. They wouldn't cross any comps around this side. So they'll definitely stay on away from McFadden and Bolsa Avenue. So what I like to do is do this little rectangle here and then stick to the half mile to a 1 mile radius parameter, just so I can understand these comps. And you have 4 comps off the bat over here, 701 per square foot, 551, 718. So I'm gonna put those, the first 3 off the bat. Let me check out this one because I think one of them was in December. Yes, okay, cool. So then 701, 551. This is where I have to find 701, 551, and then the last comp is that 718. This one, 1700. This is what a little bit outdated, so this is kind of in that section. So I'll definitely want to use this one just because it looks the same as the property that I'm looking at the moment. It just has like a lot of old furniture, so it makes it look a little bit older. So I'm actually going to be using that one. So the ARV for this property is going to be 972. For it, by the time it gets fully updated and everything, it could sell for a little bit higher than that, but that's what the ARV is going to be for this. And then if you have like a fix and flip investor coming in, they'll want to bring an offer close to 618 or 637 on their numbers. Of course, they want to get a little bit lower just because it will be cash and whatever their contingency will be. But this is what the market is telling us based on the price per square foot on those 3 comps. And we were finding a lot of them close to our possible purchase price. So if we were to get this under contract for a wholesaler, we'll get on the contract for 614 or a little bit less. And so that way we can bring it over to our end buyers where they'll purchase it between 618 to a 637, depending on who it is. And I know for sure an end buyer that I know, they want to make themselves, they wouldn't want to make 15,000. This is a lot for them. So I can bring either my wholesale fee could be a little bit bigger, or give some room for as well too for repairs, just because the repairs on how much it needs for it. I'm just taking it very safe, but again, the sky's this limit when it comes to those repairs. So I would estimate the repairs for this to be close to like $80,000. So that's an extra 20 plus my wholesale fee of 20,000. Then I'll have to sell my deal a lot more than what the seller will buy it for. But this is what my ARV will be for this property at 972 in about 4 months, 4 to 5 months, to fully update the home, just because there's not a lot of activity, and just because on the location of the property, it is between those two major roads. Because if I were to look at a year, then we'll probably find something for like this area specifically. But if I want to go take a deeper search on the property itself, just so I can confirm, I'll get the address, and I like to use PropWire, just for the half-mile radius, as well too. Let me log in. Oh man, so it won't let me log in at the moment just because I'm fully logged out, which is weird. Okay, so for whatever reason, it's just not popping up, but I will use PropWire or even Zillow as well too, just so I can confirm my comps, and then check it out. But that's basically what the market is telling me on this specific neighborhood. But to answer your question on the ARV.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. One more question. Do you do any like Zooms on like the contracts, like the assignment fees and all that, or no?
What do you mean the contracts?
So I know for wholesaling, what type of contracts are used?
So it'll be a purchase. I have them on my website. It's
Oh,
gonna
you have on your website? Oh,
yeah,
cool.
on the indicational side, there
Oh,
are
cool.
contracts for purchase agreement, which is valid
Oh,
for
so it's the purchase agreement?
Yeah, it's just a purchase agreement. Usually when I
Oh,
work with agents, I just tell the agent to bring me a standard, like for example,
purchase agreement.
California. Bring me a standard California purchase agreement, and then from there, just let them know the adjustments that I want to make on it. Like the example will be making sure that it's assignable, where it says and or assigns, so that way, if I want to purchase it, again, I'll purchase it under my name, but then sometimes we want to purchase transfer over to our trust, so it has to be assignable to our trust, land trust, whichever the trust we want to use, or to a different LLC, which is very common to do. But yeah, it could be a standard one. If this one is specifically for if you have like a seller that you're trying to wholesale a deal, and you have a direct seller and you're trying to wholesale that deal, then that's where that assignment comes in. But me specifically, I work a lot with agents, so I let the agents write up the contract, and I just mention it to them the changes that I want to bring, that I need to for them to make on the agreement. But it's gonna be a standard a purchase and sale agreement, and then the assignment agreement is gonna be for our end buyer from there. And then
I see.
pretty self-explanatory from here, just filling in all information, existing liens. Biggest thing about it is the EMD, because again, if we happen to like back out from the deal, the EMD gets sent over back. And then the biggest thing is our contingency is to put the EMD at the end of the inspection, which could be between 10 to like 15 days of the inspection, business days specifically. And then from there, if everything works, then everything moves on forward from there whatsoever.
Oh, perfect. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Of course. Anybody else with any other questions?
Yeah. Hi, Elton. I wanted to know, as far as the inspection, is that something you can do yourself, or do you hire someone to come in and do the inspection? How does that work?
Yes. So again, it's if you're doing virtually, you do have to get somebody. Virtually means example here in California, and I'm doing checking out a property in Montana, that I have to get somebody to like go check it out for me. And then usually I use my uncle, because he used to be a general contractor, and he makes calls, and he like sends somebody, he gets somebody to like go check it out, just because we want to bring the business over to them and let them know like, hey, we're actually interested in buying this property. We want to see what kind of repairs and what the estimates on those repairs will be, and they'll check it out for us and give us back those estimates. So I usually have him do that side on my behalf. But for yourself, if you don't have that source, it's just reaching out to or getting in touch with like an agent that can help you out, and then let them know like, hey, I'm actually wholesaling this property. You can give them like a portion. So there's a good amount of things that you can do to it, so that way you can inspect the property out of state. But then now if you're in state and then you're doing wholesale locally, then it's always best for you to bring your do it yourself to do like your inspection from there.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you so much.
Of course. Mario, contractor will be best option versus licensed inspector. It all depends. Again, if you're buying the property for yourself, then a licensed inspector will be good. But a licensed inspector, it all depends who you want to work with. The contractor, they're gonna let you know what those estimates are gonna be off the back and what it is, and then afterwards it gets inspected by an inspector, so that way they can make sure that everything's up to par from the licensed contractor. So we always look for a licensed contractor for those, Mario. Of course. Any other questions by any chance? We still got a few more minutes, or if that answers all your guys' questions, again, the recording will be available, so that way you can go back and listen to some of the things. Or if you don't, if you do have like other questions or need help more steps by steps, I do more one-on-ones. I can do from the marketing to cold calling to negotiating to also role playing, more one-on-ones, or for you to get like a full grasp of all the steps that need to be done for like wholesaling. Whatever these steps it is that you do need help with, again, that's all the steps that I do more one-on-one. If you do need help more one-on-one, because in the beginning myself, I didn't have like a lot of help. I was just like studying and then putting a lot of my left foot, right foot into like those steps and just learning from my mistakes. But I did find when I was doing these meetup events, somebody that was actually guiding me, which really helped out significantly to understand more about buyers and real estate from there, and then just getting the perspective on the deals that really just helped me out understand real estate overall for myself, which is what I'm transitioning to be like my own investor at the moment. And so if you guys need more help, again, I am available more one-on-one. Just head over to the website and then do the one-on-one sessions and book however many sessions you do want to go from there. Cold calling, what do you do? What about do not call list numbers? So the thing is, I had this question yesterday. Again, funny that you ask. Is the thing with those do not call list numbers is that's if you're selling a service or if you're selling a product. The business of real estate, especially wholesaling or just real estate overall too, is you're actually interested on buying. So you're not really soliciting anything or providing like a service that you're selling specifically. So when you're reaching out to a lot of owners, is just basically let them know that, look, I'm actually interested on purchasing a property that I believe you own over here on 123 Main Street. I was just calling to see if you might be interested on entertaining an offer. And if they say the most common thing is no, it depends, not interested on selling right now, they're going to give you like all these answers. Crazy thing is they're ready to go off the bat, but a lot of times it's when you're calling these people that you barely get those people that will tell you like, oh, how'd you get my number? And pretty simple. It's we use third-party companies like PropWire, PropStream, Skip Genie, Skip Leads, whatever the skip process is. We use third-party companies where we provide them addresses, and if they have a number for us for that specific address, they give it back to us and we pay them that, and that's how we're able to get in touch with you. But if you're not interested on selling at the moment, that's perfectly fine. If you are in the future, just let me know. I'll definitely be interested on purchasing that property. Or if you happen to have like anything else by any chance that you own any land or something, I'll definitely be interested on buying, because again, we do buy locally and out of state as well too. So do not call list only applies again if you're soliciting a product or a service. Of course.
I have one more question.
Yes.
So you mentioned earlier, just because I'm really new to this and
Yeah.
I want to like get to connect with more people and go to meetups. You mentioned that you go to one in Westminster, and I grew up there, but I live in the South Bay area now. But I'm very familiar with the area. My family lives there, and I'd love to, go to meetups in that area. Is that like a wholesale meetup that you go to in Westminster?
I've done more networking events for like buyers, or just because a lot of those are investors, just overall, just because that's where I
Right.
find a lot of buyers. So a lot of the meetups that I've gone to is just to like find buyers and understand how active they are, understand if they're still interested on buying more, what their criteria is, and what kind of margins or profit or percentage they want to get out of a deal whatsoever. So the example we were looking at earlier, like off the bat, I already know a buyer that want to buy in that area. And additionally too, I know how much they want to get, which they mentioned to me they want to make between $60,000 to like $80,000. If we're able to make that, bring me the deal over. We wouldn't even do like an inspection. We're ready to go. Just because, like for me, I understood that real estate is a lot about numbers, and that's where the analysis paralysis comes into play. Because new wholesalers get stuck into like the numbers, but what I've designed is put all the basic information, what you got out of it, and then the only thing you have to do is just find something that is sold in that neighborhood that is either fully updated or it looks like complete crap, and understand how much it's selling for, put it into numbers and understand how much it can sell for, and see how much a buyer will want to buy it for. So a lot of the meetups that I go to are just meant to get to know more buyers going on. But the ones that I love the most are the ones, it's a little bit further of a drive, are the ones in Orange County, more towards like Newport Beach, just because that's where a lot of buyers are actually at, that they have plenty of money to like go through.
Yeah. Okay, I'll look into those. But yeah, that's definitely something
Yep.
that's important is
If
finding,
if you go
buyers.
through, yeah, I mean it really depends. Because you mentioned that you're starting up. It really depends on how active you are on your side as well too. Like have you done any of these steps already to like get an understanding of real estate or real estate wholesaling by any chance?
Yeah, I have. I have done a lot of it, and I'm working with I work full time in an optometry office, but my
Yes.
coworker just finished school to be a real estate agent, but she decided to get into wholesaling, but she knows a lot more than I do.
Mhm.
But yeah, we have like so many lists of like pre foreclosures, code violators, driving for dollars, and we've just been reaching out, but haven't got a deal yet. But
Yeah.
I mean, we just started a couple months ago.
No, that's perfectly fine. It's definitely all about the numbers. So just continue hustling it out, because honestly, it just takes one deal to pick up like a good amount of momentum from there. And in the beginning, once you get that property under contract, you're gonna go through the questions like, what do we do next? But if you already, but the cool thing is you already have somebody who's your friend who's becoming like an agent and getting understand of that, so they'll be able to help you out as well too. So it's always good to have somebody like by your side to like help you understand like, okay, what do I do next? Or did I mess up on something? That just kind of like double checking like your work, making sure that everything is like flawless. So like I said, if you ever do need help with that, you can just book like a one-on-one with me, or what's it called? You can do like an email to me. Let me give you my email. So that way, if you happen to get stuck in some part, or the contracts, again, I provide like the contracts. They're pretty simple going from there. But yeah, if you happen to get stuck somewhere, just let me know, and I'll do like the best to like understand what's going on and help you move on to like the next step. But it just, you got to be consistent and persistent. It's just how like with any business, it's gonna take some time, especially in the beginning. You said it's been like a few months already. Do you happen to have like end buyers already set up by any chance, or you're still
Yeah,
looking for those?
have two. We have two set up already, but
Okay.
yeah, I definitely need more.
Yeah, no, that's pretty fun. Just having two, that's already like a good step off the bat. And so the way, honestly, to find buyers, and I'll even show you right now too, is again, I use the free resources available over here, Redfin and Zillow. So right now we're looking at Orange County. Something I want to do is, to me, it's always been about reaching out to agents, because again, agents already do a lot of the work of marketing, taking pictures, putting the property out there, doing cold calling, doing a lot of the work. So I'm not trying to make myself do extra work when somebody's already out there doing those extra steps. So I play more of the relationship game, and just try to let them know like what my intentions are, how quickly I'm able to move. And then if they like how I work and I like how they work, then we can continue doing businesses, moving on, moving on forward from there. So usually when it comes to finding properties, even when I'm looking properties, I don't even look at the details anymore. I'm honestly just looking for pictures, where I'm literally just pressing on the arrows as quickly as possible and analyzing like the deals and analyzing the properties, just so I can understand, is this an investor who bought and is selling this property, like this one that is coming soon over here in Huntington Beach. So far to me, this looks like a good property where an end buyer that probably came in and bought the property a few months ago and try to fix it and flip it. Or sometimes it may not be the case. So that's why I have to like double check. But usually if I see like a time frame that it says 4 months ago that it was bought and it got fully updated, like I know a little bit more, I know more about Long Beach right over here. There was one, I know this buyer off the bat, just because uh of the work that they ended up doing. So if you look at the sales and tax history, at the property records, I know they bought it in March. They took them a good amount of time because they did a good amount of work like on the property. But within 6 to like 7 months, the property was basically listed back again on like on the market for 1.15. And then from there, they got on the contract, resold. But this is what basically I'm looking for. I'm looking for buyers that are actively buying, and they're right back out there relisting it again. And then what I do is I go through the records, get the property's address, go through the either prop wire or prop stream, and it will show me like the buyers or the previous owners. This one is going to be like a new owner now. Oh man, I forgot, this thing doesn't let me. So I will go through like all that information just so I can find like what the name of the buyer was. So that way I can like basically find out, okay, cool, this buyer is basically someone who buys fix and flips. And then sometimes PropWire, even PropStream as well too, or any other platform that you're using to give you like your leads, it's gonna tell you like how many properties they own. Even for example, this one, this is not the owner that I used to know, but for some reason, this owner over here, the new ones, own about 8 properties. And to me, that's an opportunity for me to reach out to them and let them know, hey, are you actually interested on buying anything else? Because I do see that they're in Santa Ana, Highland, Fountain Valley, Pomona, Garden Grove, Huntington Beach. So they're already spread out throughout Orange County. So that tells me that this could be another buyer that I can reach out to as well, because I'm looking for them that have at least 6 properties and are actually very active, which this is what they bought as well to themselves. And that's how I'm able to find my end buyers. But the way I go through it again is look through like all the pictures of the recently sold properties, and then seeing what kind of work it was done, what kind of property it was, and then just go from there, and then get the history of who the buyer or who the owner was, skip trace that, and then see if they're interested in buying more.
Okay, that's very helpful. Thank you so much.
Of course. And anybody, I'm new to the industry. What works best for you to get homeowners to sell? Calls, postcards, letters, emails, all the above. It's all about being consistent. Honestly, it's not just, don't reach out to them once, twice, or three times. Just got to be persistent until they end up telling you like, I'm not even interested. And even when they tell me I'm not interested, I still follow up 6 months later, just because things can really be changing. Maybe the new year can motivate them to like sell the property. Something comes up, they're no longer interested in the home, the area. There's a lot of things that can pop up. So it's always being as consistently as much as possible. Even when I'm following up, I remind them who I am. And again, I'm still interested. So if they happen to be selling, by all means, I'm available from there. So all the above, Mario. So just be as consistent as possible as well too. Don't just take one no and let it go. You just gotta be persistent, because you never know when things can come and change for them, because that's when things can come and change for you as well too. And then same thing. I think it was for, I'm not sure if it was Sarah or Smelda. Same thing for you.
Yeah, Sarah.
It's been a few months as well too. So but just be consistent, and all, like I said, honestly, it just takes one deal to start changing like your whole perspective into it. Because that's gonna motivate you to like, all right, if this is the work that it took, then it's gonna take a little bit more work as well too. And again, it's continue networking and expanding the into like more buyers, because again, the more buyers you have, you're able to categorize who is buying at what price and how much it is that they're willing to like take for it. Because that way, when you have something on the contract, you're able to like distribute it to them and then see who bites first. Because again, they're going to be very interested on it, especially for like the new year. For this new year, prices of properties are going to start increasing, because the rates are going to slowly drop 3 times. I'm not sure when they're going to happen, but based on the Feds, basically they are going to be doing 3 cuts on the rates. And as rates drops, prices are going to increase. So a lot of investors, especially long-term investors, they still want to get in onto those into any properties that they see fit and it makes sense for them to like invest in, just because in a few months or in a year or 2 years, the properties are going to increase in a lot of value from there. All right. Of course. So if that's all the questions, I hope that answers everything. Again, the recording is available. Just give it about an hour and a half to get uploaded to YouTube, and then from there I'm gonna add it to like the comments, so that way you guys can go back. Or again, if you want to go back to some other ones, it's going to be on the educational section. There's other Zooms that I've done. It's going to be available from there. Any files, agreements, cold calling scripts, if you want to figure out if something's actually working for you, you want to change it out from there. Or also if you need help more one-on-one, it's all available on my website, Elton Vargas. And also again, for the calculators, just use the coupon code not gatekeeping for the pro bundle. The pro bundle, just because you have both of them, I'm not trying to make you go through individually. The pro bundle, you'll have access to both the ARV calculator and the complete rental, which there's a video in there explaining you again how to go through the entire process of the calculator. All right.
Real quick, can I ask a quick question? I'm so sorry.
You're perfectly fine. Go ahead.
So right now we're just using ready mode to make calls, but do you think it's worth investing in like a text messaging service, or do you find that making phone calls is
So
best?
with the thing with text messaging is you do have to be very careful on words that you have to use. You can't say investor, you can't say interested on buying your property. There's like, that's the thing about text
Right.
messaging. That's why I don't really focus on reaching out to like a lot of sellers. I focus more on getting in touch with agents, just because again, the agents already reaching out to sellers and they're seeing what the potentials are. But if you're in your case, if you're reaching out to like sellers, the text messages, you have to be very careful on those keywords that you're using, just because you don't want it to get flagged, and then you have to get a new number, and then so on forth and so on forth.
Okay.
So that's the thing about text messaging. So that's why calling, it's a lot better. So like getting those the power dialers, or where you have like multiple lines dialing for a number, just because when you do skip trace like a property, like, or you use true people search as well to find this is like a free a resource that I have as well too, that I use, is whenever you type in like an address or something, it gives you like 3 to 5 numbers. You don't know who the actual owner is, so you have to use all those numbers. So it's always good to use those power dialers, so that we can reach out to like more people, and the more people you reach out to is going to be better. When it comes to text messaging, in the beginning, when I first started, I was just texting off my cell phone to people, but I was using like a power dialer to specifically call people more directly, and then get a response from like calling, just because calling gets the message across the board a lot faster. And it just gives me lets me know if I'm talking to like the right person from there. And then another thing which Mario was mentioning is cold calling, postcards and all that. That's, you have to do that back end marketing. If nobody's answering, or door knocking as well too. That's a lot of wholesalers don't do door knocking. Is if you, especially if you're doing locally, line up all the properties, like 15, 20 properties for a specific day, and make sure like they're within like your area, and line up all those properties. Use Google Maps to like give you like a roadmap of which properties you should go, and then go back home to like the last stop, and it will give you that roadmap, and then go knock on those properties, leave the post-it, and then you'll get you'll be doing something that a lot of wholesalers don't do, because again, a lot of people are scared of door knocking and just get rejected, or get their face shut off, get the door shut off in front of their face. But that's the thing, is you got to do things that a lot of other people are not doing, because the postcards and the letters and anything else, that's gonna be very standard, but it's doing the things, the extra steps that are gonna help you out. And door knocking is that extra step that a lot of wholesalers don't actually do, just because it does take a lot of your time. But again, if you organize, just especially if you are working 9 to 5, and you have a busy schedule with kids and a lot of other things going on like around your life, and you have this one day, you want to maximize that one day, but make sure it's properly organized, where you set up that roadmap, go knock on those doors of homeowners, or of homeowners, and then seeing who might be interested. And you'll be surprised on a lot of people answering, especially on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Those would be like the best days as well to like get a chance to get in front of people. And because of daylight savings right now too, it does get dark early, but between 5 to like 7:30 door knocking, that can help out as well too, if you happen to have off days on the weekday. So just giving you an extra tip of marketing.
Thank you so much.
Power dialers. I use closed CRM that has its own power dialer. There's a bunch of them. I don't know on top of my head. But you type in power dialers on Google, and it's gonna give you like a lot of them. Is it Soho? Soho ZRM has like another power dialer as well too. Mojo is another popular as one too, that I know on top of my head. But just type in power dialers. But the one that I like the most, honestly, is Close, just because I'm able to keep a track of like all my leads and everything. It's just a simpler CRM that I like how the interface is from there. That's just how I
How
am.
do you spell it? How do you spell it? Close?
Close.
Mhm.
So it's gonna be
CLOSE?
yeah, close.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. This could be this one right here.
I see. Okay.
So
Thank
that's the
you.
one that I look. Even Mailchimp has like their own CRM, I believe, as well too in their marketing. So this is a bunch of them. It's just whichever one you like the most. And then you purchase like your dialer, your phone number, your dialer phone number, and then however many lines you want to have set up from there.
One question. So, for like having a domain, what do you recommend like using?
Having what? One more time?
A domain, a website?
Oh, a website, huh?
Do you have like, I mean, it's gonna be more professional to have like a email address from your business website, I guess. What do you recommend? So what do you use for domain service?
Uh, I don't. Like I
You
said,
don't?
I don't I have my website just because that's something that I wanted to like build to like
Mhm.
have availability for anyone publicly to go to my name, type in my name, eltonvargas.com, and to have access to whatever information I have set up there. But when it comes to this business of real estate and purchasing, I really don't get into like the into that. So like we're talking about marketing for like sending out letters or selling those postcards. It's just there's no thing to like fill it out or any go to like the specific website, scan a QR code, head over to this website, fill all the information. No, all right, just if people are really interested in buying, is I'm gonna send my postcard, send them the number that I want them to call, and then whenever they're interested in calling, make sure that they're calling.
Okay.
So again, calling is literally the number one resource and source that is going to help you get the message across and understand what the situation is. Just because text messaging, all these other things are going to take way too long. So that's why role playing is essential. So that way you can get like a sense of the different types of people that are going to be reaching out to you on the different types of marketings that you're going to be doing. And again, you just have to be ready because you have to practice your arsenals as frequently as possible and your language to be able to handle well, how much do you want to offer for me for this property? Well, I want like $8 million for my property. So there's a lot of different things that you got to be ready for to handle like a lot of those calls and a lot of that traffic coming over to you. But phone is going to be the number one thing to work with. All right. Any other questions? Last minute ones?
No, I think that's it. Thank you for all the information.
Of course, my pleasure. You use like a Google Voice number? No, again, Mario, I use Close. So in Close, I'm able to purchase a number there, a local number, out of state number, wherever area I'm doing business. I purchased that phone number from there and just use that to reach out to my buyers in there. And the thing I like about Close, again, I'm able to organize uh, whatever state my buyers are my lists are coming from, or that I download, or the agents that I'm reaching out to. I'm able to organize each of them state by state, so that way I'm able to know who I'm reaching out to, and they can give me a call back on that specific number. Or your own call homeowners mailing. I don't know about the PO box. I don't know where you feel about that. All right. Well, if no other questions, that will be it for today. So again, the recording will be available for you guys in just a couple of hours, or you can start getting a head start on the previous ones. Which Shima, you joined me yesterday. Welcome back again.
Thank you. Yeah, of course.
But yeah, just go through that. Everything is completely for free on all these meetups. Again, calculator, not gatekeeping, coupon code, the educational stuff is completely for free from there. And again, if you guys are really serious, it's just some of you are already taking action. By all means, continue taking that action and just be consistent and persistent as much as possible. All right. You mail from your own address or PO box. So usually when you, Mario, whenever you do those those postcards, you use there's no like return address or anything like that. You can use there's different sources. Again, I haven't done these in a long time. That you can use where they mail a card, and then whatever it is that the information you put on that card, they either call you, or again, if you want to use like a website, you send them over to that website and they fill it up. So no PO box or address needed whenever you're sending out anything from there. But if you're talking about like mailing, then that's if you're doing like envelopes and then doing like a whole like a trifold paper of like marketing, that's gonna be a little bit too long. A lot of people toss those away. So it's all your marketing has to be really quick and right to like the spot, so that way your seller knows exactly why you're marketing over to them. All right. So that's it, guys. So again, anything else, just book 101s, calculators, download them and go get them. And I'll see you guys hopefully on Monday, back to it again on a regular time frame of 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Times. All right. You guys have a blessed night. And again, happy Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you.